So it's the start of a brand new season today. We have made some really good transfers actually, and we're in a much better position in terms of a squad than we were last season. And last season we finished just outside the playoffs. So this season, who knows what could happen. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today, just the one game for you. We're at home to Huddersfield, kicking off the 2021-22 season. Before that though, we're going to go through all our summer transfer business. But before we even do that, we've got to talk about the man of the summer. I had so many clubs bid for this player. It's been unreal, and I'll show you what it's like in a second. But it's for this player here, Adrien Leclassic. Now, if you remember back to a few episodes ago, we had the golden generation come in. As it turned out, other teams seem to think we did have a golden generation. We've had bids come in for a lot of players, and we've had to offer them all contracts and things like that, like professional contracts. Essentially, as soon as he turned 16, clubs were in for him. Arsenal had offered this guy a contract, and I was like, well, if Arsenal offer him a contract, he must be pretty decent in the future. So he is now signed a contract with us, not Arsenal, but we are going to be paying him £700 a week when he turns 17. So that's quite a lot of money for a 17-year-old, but he should be worth it because 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Arsenal wanted him, but he didn't get him. However, clubs are still trying to get him. If we look at the little transfer screen here and we scroll down to Leclassic, currently the offers on the table for him, we rejected 1.5 million from Crystal Palace. 1.5 million. And my thinking behind that is, if clubs are bidding for him at 1.5 million when he's 16 years old, how much would they bid for him when he's 20 years old, for example? So if we can hold on for as long as possible, try and get him to be as good as he can, maybe sell him when he's 20 for 30 odd million, something like that, that would be incredible, I think. Glenford Connor as well, he's the right back that also came through in our youth recruitment last year, and loads of clubs seem to be bidding for him, probably because he's a wing back, like a natural wing back, and no one really is. I don't think he's actually that good or going to be that good, but everyone seems to think he will because a lot of bids came in for him as well, so that was interesting. But enough of that, let's have a look at what we've done. As you can see, a whole host of players left the club, Bostwick being a big one. I wanted to keep him, but he didn't want to stay, unfortunately. The same with Cameron McGinn. McGinn wanted to stay, but he wanted like loads of money. I wasn't going to pay him that much money. And then Lumley also left as well. He didn't want to sign a new contract, which is a bit unfortunate, but we've got a familiar face back in goal there you'll be happy to know about. So that's good. Before we get on back to all the transfers we've signed, Liam Coyle is back. The central defensive midfielder that we had for a little while from Liverpool last season, and maybe even the season before actually, he's back on loan once again, so that's fantastic news because he is an absolute rock, and importantly he is a Premier League quality player as well, which is really exciting. And that's a bit of a theme this year. Obviously in the first season here, the theme was we'd signed a lot of League One quality players, essentially with Championship potential. We're now signing some Championship players with Premiership potential, and actually some players who can play Premiership football. So we'll start off with the first guy we brought in, I suppose. Jan Valery came in. The only transfer fee that we paid, £325,000 from Southampton. He's a right back, a much needed right back that we needed. 3-star current ability, which is a little bit low to start off with right now, but 4.5-star potential means that he has got Premier League quality potential in him. So he will be starting at right back this season. Hopefully he realises that potential really quickly, and by the end of the season he's Premier League quality. That'd be fantastic. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he's all about. Got some good stats where they matter, especially first touch. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it doesn't even matter first touch really too much as a right back, but he's got a lot of that, so that's nice to see as well. And I'm sure we can get a lot of his traits up, so that's very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do here. The next three players you'll all know about, and you'll all be very happy to see that they've signed on free transfers. Haug signed from Man City, the goalkeeper we had last season, on a free, on a very cheap deal at 1.2k per week, which is fantastic. So I'm great and delighted to say he's back at the club. George Byers also signs on at £5,500 a week as a midfielder, and he's been here for the past few seasons, and he's quality, and I love him, and I can't wait to start using him as my own player. And Josh Da Silva on an expensive contract of nearly £10,000 a week, but he is here as well, and what a utility man he is. He's here on a free transfer. What more can you ask for? I absolutely love this player, and I'm so glad it's got here on a permanent transfer now. It's fantastic. The next player that we brought in then was Enel Ahmedovic. I've just butchered that completely, but he's a Swedish centre-back. Came from Forest. I wanted to sign from Forest for quite a while, and whenever I tried to bid for him, they said, no, we want like 20 million for him. So I'm like, oh, we're not paying that much money for him. But now he's here on a free transfer, only worth £79,000, not 2 million. But he's on loan at Rotherham right now because he's only good enough for League Two, and actually his potential wasn't quite as good as it was meant to be. Potentially a good Championship, so hopefully we can sell him on in a few years' time, but don't expect to see him too much. Now this is an absolute coup, this transfer. This transfer is huge. Roshan Williams signs from Manchester United to Lincoln City on nearly £11,000 a week. He's the most expensive and costly player at the club at the moment, but he is a centre-back with Premiership quality potential. Very, very good player in the Championship. Could be a top Championship player in my opinion, but has got potential to be very, very good in the Championship. So here's a guy that is going to be coming back this season, going to be playing so much football for us. He's going to be there solidly. If he gets his leadership up a little bit, I'm not quite sure if he can really push leadership, but he's a potential future captain of his club, I think. So look forward to seeing him in the upcoming games. Now, there's always one bogey transfer, and I think this is the guy that's a bogey transfer. Benjamin Garre comes in from Man City on loan as an attacking midfielder, but he wasn't quite as good as the scouts made him out to be, unfortunately. So 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential is kind of what we already had at the club, if we're being honest with ourselves here. So he'll play a little bit, but he's going to be more backup this season. But I do like how he can play as a shadow striker. So if we do a one-striker system, for example, he's probably the man that we may play there because he can play as a shadow striker, and that's what I like in a one-striker system. Anthony Evans, though, is the man that will be playing attacking midfield the entire season, though. Advanced playmaker in that attacking midfield position, but can play as a shadow striker and attacking midfielder. So we'll probably use him more like that. But 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. Really, really well-rounded player for his age. Got some really nice mental stats and physical stats. His technicals could be a bit better. I'd like to see his technique and passing go up a little bit more, just because that would make him a more solid attacking midfielder, I think. But he's been a very, very good player. Been at Everton all his career. Had a very good season with Coventry a few years ago. And he's probably going to step up now to be a Championship quality player. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. And he's going to be starting there ahead of Callum Camps this season, I think. And finally, if you thought Roshan Williams was a coup, this guy's a coup. David Green comes in from Liverpool. He's only 17 years old, but 4.5-star current ability, and his potential ability is only going to get better and better and better. I don't really understand how we've got him, but we do have him. He's a Premiership quality left back, and he's going to be our starting man this season, obviously. He's amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. Really, really good player. I just don't understand how we've got him, really, because he's a Premiership quality player, but he's playing for little Lincoln City. I mean, he's already got 2 under-21 caps for England. That shows how good he is, and yet he's here at Lincoln. So I'm delighted to have him at the club, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. And that then is all the transfer business that we have done so far, which is a lie. This guy actually, Alex Pascanu, is like a prodigy left back, so I don't expect to see him too much, but you know, he'll be alright in a few years' time maybe. But that then is now all the transfers that we have done. If you can sort of see, this is the formation we're going to go for. The wingers we've not expanded on too much, so basically we're going to be sticking with this formation, I think, for the rest of the season, mostly. It worked so well for us at the end of last season. If we can carry that momentum and form through, I think we could really, really do some business this season and really, really push ourselves up for even automatic promotion, I think. There's also been 2 promotions as well from the youth teams. If we look down here, James Duffy was like our man from the youth team last year, but he's now on loan at Bristol Rovers in League One, I believe. He's a League Two quality player now, but he's on loan at League One at Bristol Rovers, so that's pretty good for him. Which means that Stephen Wilkinson, another prodigy of ours, has made his way up to be the player sitting on the bench from the youth squad, basically. And we only have to do this because we need to have at least one homegrown player in the squad. And no one's homegrown from the club apart from guys in our youth squad. So he's that man on the bench just by default this season. But sometimes we're going to put the classic on there as well, just because he's so sick and Arsenal wanted him and Crystal Palace bid 1.5 million for him. We need to get game time into him. So he'll be on the bench sometimes as well if we decide to play with wingers. So I think that sort of rounds up everything there from summer and what's happened. I think that's basically it. So let's get into today's game. This is the side that we're going to be facing up against Huddersfield with. Haug in goal, ever present from last season, of course. It was really, really solid for his last season, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. The new guy, Green, comes into basically a new look back for. Segura keeps his place, but Green, Williams and Valerie all making their debuts today, which is quite nice. I'd like to get an extra man at the back, really, an extra centre-back, just for a bit more cover. Maybe someone who's actually better than Segura, for example, coming in, because that would be really good, I think, just to get a little bit more solidity in there. Last season midfield stays the exact same. Coyle, Byes and De Silva sitting in there, but again I'd probably want to get 1 or 2 backup players in there, or someone who's probably as good as these kind of players to get in there, just to challenge them a little bit and just to give us a little bit more rotation. Evans starts in that attacking midfield position today, starting and making his debut for us, in behind Chuma and Alore, who simply are just fantastic. They were so good last season. They've got a fantastic partnership between them, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how many goals they can get this season. And actually, Alore, now that I think about it, was made 5-1 to become the league's top goal scorer this season, so the pundits think he's going to do it. Will he actually do it though? We need to find out today. Right, kick-off is upon us then. And this is the start of the season. I'm hoping for a big 3 points here. That would really set us up nicely and give us a bit of momentum early on in this season. We finished above Huddersfield in the league last season. Now, Huddersfield finished down like 16th. We were in 10th or something like that. So if we go on last season's form, we should be the side winning this game. But of course, it's a new season. There's new transfers. Everyone's still gelling with each other. So it's going to be, you know, anyone's game right now. I think it could be pretty even, I think. But it looks like the first highlight's coming towards us as De Silva plays a nice ball through to Alare, and Alare can get it back out wide. He can't, but Valery now on the ball, trying to come forward, plays it through to Alare. Alare gets his cross in towards Evans, and Evans scores 8 minutes into his debut to put Lincoln City 1-0 up against Huddersfield. And there we go, we're up to first already. First in the league already. Can we just end the season now, please? End the season now, we're promoted. No, now we're not, we're in the playoffs. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good start, I've got to say, actually. Obviously, Wolves are now starting to dominate. They're 3 goals up in their game, so they're top of the league. But there's another highlight now, not too soon after the first highlight, as Byers puts his ball in towards De Silva. De Silva's shot from the edge of the area is an absolute rocket and unstoppable. And in 20 minutes, we're already 2-0 up against Huddersfield. I mean, I said just before this, you know, we could do some special things this season. I'm thinking playoffs, perhaps even automatic, but I wasn't expecting us to be 2-0 up in 20 minutes, so maybe we have just made the right transfers. Maybe everyone's gelling. We've got that right combination between the players coming in and the players that are already there. So it's quite easy for them to just gel together and just start playing like we did last season. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, I think. Another highlight now, 37 minutes into the game, the third one of the game actually, and it's put into the middle. Can Chuma get there? He can't quite get there, but the clearance is pretty poor. It only goes as far as Segura. So we've got a chance now to build from the back. Segura pumps it up forward towards Chuma, but Chuma can't quite get there. But Byers puts the ball back towards him. Now goes to De Silva actually, and De Silva through to Evans. Evans through to Alore. If we can get one more ball through to Chuma, that would be great. Valery now. Get a cross in there, mate. He gets his cross in onto the head of Chuma, and Chuma makes it 3-0 in 38 minutes. We're 3-0 up before half-time. This is actually incredible. I mean, this is unheard of. Nearly unheard of. Last season, if we were 3-0 up, that would have been amazing. But, I mean, now, I'm expecting this every single game now. They've set themselves up nicely. I'm expecting this kind of performance every single game from the boys. Well, I think that's a fairly dominant first half for us, I think. Other scores around the league, Birmingham 4-1 up, Middlesbrough 4-1 up. What are Wolves doing? Because they were doing pretty well for themselves. They're 3-1 up. If we can keep a clean sheet and like a 3-goal lead, I'll be absolutely over the moon today. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, this does make me very, very excited. Seeing us 3-0 up this early on in the season. I mean, I know it's the first game of the season, you can't really judge anything. But at the same time, you can judge a lot of how well a team has gelled if they're winning by this much early on in the season. So there's a lot to take into consideration here, but Huddersfield now look like they've got their first highlight this game. The ball's crossed in and it's cleared, but only as far as their men, and a superb block there from Younes. Unfortunately, the ball does get back to Sigurdsson, and they pull one back, have Huddersfield, but still, we're still winning this. Things are still going pretty well for us. Momentarily, we were top of the league there until they scored, but we're still second right now as it stands. I don't know why I'm telling you this. It doesn't matter too much because it's the first game of the season, as I said many, many a time. But De Silva through to Alare, Coyle into Chuma. Chuma gets his second of the game, assisted by Liam Coyle. We're now 4-1 up, and that must put us back top of the table. I mean, I know it's only the first game of the season. I've literally repeated myself, but I'm just excited because I've never seen Lincoln top of the table in the Championship before in FM 18, and this is exciting because I want this to carry on all season now. I thought this could be a very good team this season that could do pretty well, but if we're tearing apart teams as good as Huddersfield, I mean, I'm excited for what's to come. I'm so excited for what's to come. Byers now back on the ball, out towards Green. Green puts a great cross into De Silva. Oh my God, what an absolute rocket that was on the volley from De Silva. A lovely goal. He's got his second. This is an absolute routing for Huddersfield. I want to make some changes though, because some players are starting to look a bit tired. Alare's looking tired. We'll give Fletcher a little run. Maybe he'll grab a few goals in this game. Green and Jan Valery both looking tired, but they're playing very well, so I'll leave them on the pitch for now. Byers will come off, I think, and we'll bring Callum Camps on for him and make him more of an attacking. Well, he can play as a deep line, but they play him as an advanced playmaker. And we'll probably bring Stephen Wilkinson on in the last 10 minutes to give him his debut, the 17, 18-year-old, whatever he is. Corner now for Huddersfield, but it's been cleared and it's gone straight to Fletcher now. Fletcher, if he can hold the ball up and get a great pass forward, he has done. And all of a sudden, it's 4-on-1 through to Chummer. Chummer for his hat-trick. Oh, he had to put it either side of the goalkeeper. And that would have been his hat-trick. Unfortunately, he's not done it, but I mean, I can't complain. We're 5-1 up. Right then, we'll bring off Segura then, and we're going to bring on Stephen Wilkinson for his debut. Have a good one out there, mate. Hopefully he can get a good run out today. Ashley Fletcher picks up a little knock, but do we care? No, we're 5-1 up. Now this is probably where inexperience comes in now, as the ball is put straight to the back post and Younes picks up another consolation goal for them. 5-2. I don't know if I'm upset or not, because our wing-backs or our full-backs, they've both got assists on themselves and they're doing very well for themselves, but we have conceded 2 goals, which is a bit of a downer on the game, I think, as a whole. But we've scored 5 goals. We're top of the league as it stands. I can't really be disappointed, can I? Corner comes in for the final kick of the game. It's cleared away, and that is the final whistle. Lincoln 5, Huddersfield 2. What an absolute result. Passionately, very nice result. Well done there, boys. I can't believe that. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, there we go. Top of the table after 1 game. It's not that exciting, but it feels very exciting for me right now. And I don't want to jinx things by saying that result must mean we're going to be amazing, because it could well not. But I do feel quietly confident now going into the next few games of the season, which we'll have a look at now and decide who we're going to be playing next in this. So Sheffield United, QPR. I reckon next time out we'll do a Plymouth and Portsmouth. We'll do a South Coast P tour, I think. Obviously, they're both South Coast and begin with P, so yeah, that's funny, isn't it, Tom? Yeah, I think Plymouth and Portsmouth are the teams that we'll do next, I think. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like on the video. Comment down below as well, saying that, oh, Tom, your favourite to win the league this year. I'm backing you all the way. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you next time for more Lincoln Loco action.